This is an English ash folding chair from the 4th quarter of the 19th century, and it does fold up very easily and very neatly to give you a very compact piece of furniture when it's packed away. And although this was aimed more at the domestic market, of course something which folded away so easily would be very useful to an officer. The design is actually Goulding's patent, and it was patented in January 1874 and retailed by Vypen and Headley of Leicester. How do we know that? Well, there's a partial paper label here, so let's just move in so you can hopefully see that. I don't know how well you're going to be able to read it in this light. But Vypen and Headley were general ironmongers at 14 Gallow Tree Gate in Leicester, with works at Churchgate, and they dealt predominantly in agricultural implements and dairy equipment, but they also manufactured garden furniture. And they'd taken over the business in the 1870s from Hunt and Pickering, and before that the business had been run by Mary Hunt from around about the 1840s. She had taken the business over from her late husband before she was joined by Pickering in 1854. And interestingly, actually, when the business was Hunt and Pickering, they had works which were called the Goulding implement works. So whether Goulding was just an employee of the company or he had a greater interest in the business, we really don't know. But he also, in his patent, stressed the versatility of this piece of furniture, and it could be a stool, it could be made as a much longer bench, but with added bracing bars. But also he said that it could be used as a table, as it is now, or it could be used as a little reading stand if you set it up like that, and then it doesn't hold very well on this wooden floor. But you set it up like that, and then presumably the bottom section of the back will act as a prop for your book or for writing. And also as a music stand, probably in a similar way. I mean, for practical use, it's probably a little bit too low to do that unless you maybe stood it on a table or something like that. But as far as design goes, I mean, as I mentioned before, the practicality of it folding so neatly is great. And he also pointed out in his patent that these cutouts to the middle slats would allow you to use this central bar as a handle like that, so you can carry it quite easily. And the patent basically was about these two middle slats abutting against each other to stop the X-frame leg folding more. A little bit more involved in that, but that's the basic principle of it. So there you go. The patent 1874, the chair is going to be made not long after that, although in fairness, you'd be forgiven for thinking that it was made around about 1900 or in the early 20th century, but no, it's a little bit earlier than that, which is quite nice. And made simply as a garden chair, an extra chair you could take out on picnics, and with the weather getting better, perhaps it's still very practical and very usable today. Goulding's patent chair, patented in 1874, made of ash, English, folds up very neatly.